Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the badass Buddha, Lori Monaco, coming to you from a sunny southern Connecticut where it has been warm and humid, but hey, I ain't complaining. I've been wanting that sun and warmth. So, good morning to you. Good morning. So happy that you are here. Good morning, Milagros and Kathy Ruiz. And that's all I'm going to say so that I can give the floor to my fabulous co host to introduce herself and to update us. So go ahead.
Hola, mi gente, aquí con la Margarita, and I am in Santiago, and it has been raining since I got here. So this is my third day here, and it's just been raining. So yes, I'm here. Hola, Chanel, Kathy, Milagro. Yay! So I'm still in pilgrim mode, as you see, bien zarapastrosa, and I'm okay with it. We've been wanting to go get our hair done, but because of the rain, I'm looking all frazzled, and I'm kind of loving the minimalist, naturalist
I
look
I
that I've
think
been having.
I think it looks beautiful on you. I don't think right? Like Tribe, what do you think? I think she looks very you look very at peace. Your face looks very at peace. You don't look like you're so like it is what it is, you know?
It
Yeah.
is. I am. There's really nothing to. It's just being yourself and and just taking in everything around. I wrote a post early when I posted pictures of the cathedral, and you just taking in the beauty around you just gives you this sense of gratitude that you're able to see and smell all the things, and it's just been really great.
That's phenomenal because this is going to be a really great discussion this morning because the title of today's show is letting go to grow. And you didn't happen to see the post, did you, for it? I was so like so last minute with
With the
putting shit
mountains,
together. Yeah, I was so happy. Like I couldn't believe I found a Bitmoji with both of us like doing that. And I'm going, oh my God, this is so perfect. And then I'm thinking, but I want to have one that has like a mountain. And I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna put like a real mountain in the background. But I thought that was the cutest thing ever. So if you haven't seen the advertisement for today, just go check it out and then like comment on it because I just thought that was so cute.
thank
So
you, ladies. I love the compliments. And you know what? When you do, I have two looks in my life. I either look glamorous or I look homeless. There's no in between for me. And just, you walk the streets and you see people in all fashions and forms, and the pilgrims are just in their pilgrim gear. And I just think that it's so healthy when you can just be who you are and not, I don't worry about what other people say, but it's either glamorous or homeless, and I'm okay with either one. Um, and no makeup, just the facial creams, and it's just I feel like everything can breathe better. Like I'm really giving my skin the attention it needs all the time, because when we're back home, we feel that, oh, I gotta go grocery shopping. You put your mascara on, your
yes,
foundation,
right.
and right now it's not even about. I didn't even bring none of that with me, so I I'm just fine with it. I'm just fine with it. I'm loving it. So all I can say is, try to find some time, like I said last time, to just be. Stop doing and just be. And then that's where you really find yourself. That's where you can really connect. You can understand the hurt that's inside, covered up with all the facades of what society deems acceptable. I don't care who looks at me, who talks to me. It's all about me. And I think that's one of the greatest feelings, is being able to just connect with yourself in a way. And then, you know what the sad part is, that we got to be so far away from home to do that,
I
but to
know.
recognize, to acknowledge it, and to accept it. And now I'm feeling it. So the release should come easy.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's so hard for us to do that? when we're
because when you just think when you're home and you're gonna go out, we always fix our hair. Look at me, and let me tell you, there's some fine ass men here from all walks of life, and Iris still hasn't uploaded all the pictures with all the men we took. And when we have wine with them, or when we're chilling having coffee with them, and it's just at your natural base, and they're saying, where are you from? You're so beautiful, your skin looks flawless. And I'm like, wow, stop, tell me more. Like,
no one got lucky on the Camino. Like there was no like little side, like off to the side. Like,
I
hey,
met
hold on a
this.
second, Iris. Like, just give me a few minutes over here. Nothing.
I did meet I met several, but there was this one, and like the last time on the Camino, that one that gets away. That we took pictures with most of them. We everybody's on our Facebook, on our WhatsApp, and this is the one that we just had a conversation, and then we said we'll meet up later for wine. But then it started raining in that village, so we didn't venture out as much. And you know me, I'm always joking. So he walks up. We were there half hour before him, and we're eating something we hadn't eaten in 5 hours. So he walks up because he's waiting on somebody. We start talking. He's from Madrid, and he's like 6'2", 62 years old, gray beard, the way I like him, slim, tall, beautiful. So he's like, so did you just get here? And you start eating before you find a bed? And I'm like, yes, because I wouldn't be able to go look for a bed. And so then he's like, what are you eating? I said, pizza. I said, I got to eat something. I got to maintain this figure. Right? Just joking. And he's like, and don't you dare change it. And I was like, oh, he's my soulmate. He's the one pushing the pool door. You know what I mean? so, so he's telling me where he works. All I got was his name. And then he said something in English, and I didn't capture. And I thought he said something about painting. And then I was like, oh, yeah, she's an artist. And he's like, you're an artist? He's like, I work in the art business. We definitely got to meet up later and talk. I have not seen him again.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's always that one that gets away. So, but again, it's been raining, so we haven't really been hanging. Yesterday we walked.
So it's been raining, so you haven't wanted to have sex on the path. Listen, this is what Chanel asked. Did you use your condoms? So no,
no.
not yet.
Iris got tipsy the other day, and it's dangerous when Iris gets tipsy, but we just laughed. It's just been, just laugh.
Kathy wants to know, she said, do you feel relaxed, or have you had times that you have felt rushed getting from place to place on this incredible walk?
No, never. We didn't rush. The only time I would rush Iris was when we were climbing up a mountain, and I would be scared that she fainted. Like if I was 15 minutes ahead, so I would stop and call out her name. I told you this. But no, we didn't rush to get nowhere. And the blessing in all of it, because we took a leap of faith and we walked in faith, was that we never showed up and there was not a bed available.
I love when that happens. When you trust in the process, that is exactly what happens. You get to exactly where you need to be. And it's when you get into those moments of panic, when you put that energy out there, the resistance comes in. And that's why that's really great info for this conversation today, because you and I are both proof positive when we don't trust in the process, when we resist. You're better at it than I am. I go into spurts where I will trust the process but resist, but you're much better at just letting it go and going with the flow. So that's really good. But this is proof positive, because it is scary, because in a way it's like when you're thinking about it, you're going, oh my God, I gotta, like, what if somebody was a real planner, they might not be able to do this trip, because there's an element of, you can't plan ahead too much because you just don't know. And if you said, well, we have to get to this town by this time because we reserved this, and then all of a sudden, let's say something happened and you don't get to that town, then what happens? That you really have to go with the flow with where you are.
And that was part of it. Now, when we first got here, when we got to Porto the first day, we bought 30-euro SIM cards, because the majority of our time was spent in Portugal, so that we can have communication. Anything happened, we can call. Or let's say we were on a mountain for 4 hours too long, and it never worked. We couldn't even call each other. And so we had no communication, how to reach anybody in case of anything. But again, we didn't sweat it. We didn't worry. We laughed. Um, we were in great pain, but we kept going. And we arrived. Now, the other night, we stayed in some of the albergues, they lock the doors at 10. So you have to be inside. Now, they always have a guard and you can chill out to whatever time. But, and we were having wine and just cracking up, right? And then here it gets dark at 10 at night. So I said, Iris, is either it's going to rain or it's getting near our time. We had to literally run up. We had to run across a bridge, and then the albergue was up a hill because it was right next to a cathedral. And we made it right when they were going to close the doors. Because I said, Iris, we're going to have to sleep out in the rain if we don't make it. Hurry up. That's the only time we rush somewhere. And then Iris was already twisted with the wine, flirting with the guy sleeping across from her. Rodolfo. She wanted to scream his name in the center of Santiago. She's like, I want to see him again. I just want to yell, Rodolfo.
Oh my God. Well, listen, I'll tell you what, let's set our intention. Let's do our mantra, and then let's really talk about letting go and what that means and why it is vital to growing.
But hold on, look what Kathy wrote. Thank you for noticing that, Kathy. Yeah, it was we walked into this cafe and I was like, But then I asked what's that? He's like, things that pilgrims left behind. And then we were looking and I'm like, but where's the Puerto Rican flag? He said, oh, it's right there. So we like got super excited. And then so I left the shirt and I signed it and I put on Facebook and YouTube and he was gonna hang it up, but then he had people there. So we took a picture of where it was and I thought, yeah, let Viva Cafe con Leche be on a wall in Spain.
You know what? I must have missed that post. That's so cool. So, oh my God, I got to check out that post. Make sure those of you that have been jumping on is go back and go to all their posts, both Margarita's and Iritza's, to, comment and like and share the posts because all of this helps, I loved the picture that Iritza had taken of you from behind and oh, she hung up. She'll come back on. There we go. There you go. I love that picture of you from behind, and I reposted it. Like I cropped it so that you could see. It was like perfect because it just gives you the idea of this is the journey. This is and I thought it was great because sometimes we don't think about taking pictures of ourselves. You have a lot of pictures of what you were seeing.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Or we take a selfie, but to have somebody take the picture of you walking, on your journey was really powerful. So
she called me Gone Girl because I was always gone. Like, and I had so much. I think I really did either fracture something when I missed the step at the cathedral in Portugal, but I walked the whole way with it. But that foot is really bad, more than the Achilles. And she said, she calls me walking mad. She's like, girl, when you're in pain, you mad. You be walking up them hills.
Oh my God, look what Iritza wrote. She says, no, but someone on her top bunk and my neighbor were busy last night.
I was like, I can't believe this. Should I masturbate or should I just ignore it? I don't know. But it was like, they were very courteous. Their moans were to a very minimal, but again, it was right up next to me, and I was like, So I just did quiet and was a spectator.
Oh my God, is that the first time that's ever happened?
I'm sure it's not, but it's the first
no
time
for
I
you.
heard it.
You didn't have that experience last time, right?
No, this was the first time. It was good. It was a good experience.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That is so funny. All right. So with that, I'm all distracted now just thinking about that. Okay. So let's set our intention. We'll do our mantra and let's talk some more. Okay. So here we go. Let's set the intention for today. The intention for today with Viva Cafe con Leche and all the tribe is to be intentional and
Grateful.
be intentional and grateful. Set your intention for today, whatever that is, and go with gratitude. All right, here we go. We're going to go with our mantra. Say it loud, say it proud if you can. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole.
Just like those people last night. I am beyond authentic.
And I keep it real.
All right. Live it. Share it. Repeat it throughout your day. All right.
And today's coffee is art.
Coffee
Because I have
is
been
art.
visiting all the galleries of coffee shops here.
Right. Fabulous. All right. I love this. Okay. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about what does it mean to let go? Let's first define letting go, and then why it is imperative for growth. And is it even possible to grow without letting go? So let's talk about that.
I think we cannot grow into our full potential if we're carrying baggage that we should have let go. Not everything can be let go because it's sewn into the tapestry of our souls.
The guy behind you was pretty cute. Can you move a little? Can you slide your thing a little?
I do love. So I think, but the things that are not sewn into our tapestry, we must let go. Those are the things that create disturbances in our thought process. Those are the disruptors, the unnecessary disruptors that lead to the triggers that we are not healing from. So in order to heal, and identifying those triggers, we must let go of what it is that wasn't, I don't think, ever ours to carry in the first place. That's
Right.
why they don't belong to us. That's why they hinder us from our growth.
I think that we mislead ourselves when and I'm saying this from personal experience. We mislead ourselves when we think that we can grow without completely letting go of something. There is a level of growth that you can get to, and you can, sometimes you have to literally completely let go of something, like leave it in the dust, just walk away from it and go, and never to return. And then there's sometimes where you can grow and let go a little bit at a time. Like, so when you feel like you're ready to let go, but I have to be careful about saying when you're ready, when you feel like you're ready, because letting go is so foreign for some people, including myself. And it depends on what it is that you're letting go. Like certain things I could just throw out and it's no big deal. But it's the shit that really matters in order for you to grow. That's the hardest stuff to let go of. And saying to ourselves, oh, I'll let it go when I'm ready. You may never be ready. And that's the problem. It's like, to take that leap of faith feels so very uncomfortable because it is an unknown. And we make an assumption that where we're going is going to be worse than where we are. And so we're afraid to step into that unknown. And maybe the unknown is bad, but maybe the unknown is absolutely fabulous. It's still different.
It's definitely going to be different. And
Yes.
That's what we need. You see, I think that that we must convince ourselves that we're strong enough to let go and wise enough to wait for what we deserve, what we are deserving of. And I think if you keep that in your mind, like, okay, this is where I'm at, and I feel like I'm deserving of better, of wider, of brighter. So you have to dig deep and bring out that strength to let go of what we know, what's our comfort zone. See, that's why people don't let go, because it's comfortable for them. It's what they know. And
Yes.
it's that
Even
box.
the misery is comfortable. Right.
So the mental fortitude to actually let go and grow is with absolute admirable courage. And
Yes.
to be courageous and be proud of your courage, it's within. It's just with yourself. It's not to prove anything to everybody. And that's where the letting go gets stuck. Because people wait for the right time to prove. See, I show you I can do it. Do it for yourself.
That's correct.
So, and you know, it's there's simple steps. You got to face difficulties head on. Letting go is not easy. Easy is just easy. You know, it's easy to be an angel, and it's easier to be a demon. Which one are you gonna pick? So you gotta let go of something. So you face difficulties head on. You challenge the status quo. You don't worry about what's going on around you, who's saying whatever, who's trying to guide you. You gotta follow your gut instinct. Again, letting go takes everything from within. Gut instinct. If you know you don't need it, throw it away. Stand up for your values and beliefs. If you're not sure what your values and beliefs are, then start discovering yourself. When you discover yourself, how easy
Yes.
is it to let go, badass?
Well, it's easier because you have clarity. But that sometimes that is the hardest part, is the first step, is to ask yourself, what is it that I really want? Like what's really truly not serving me anymore? And I know that some people have a problem with that statement, but it's not a question of oh, I have this arrogance, like that doesn't work for me. It's truly like in your heart. You have to literally grab your heart and you have to go deep to your spirit, to your soul, and say, what is truly no longer serving me? Am I growing at how fast am I growing? Am I stagnant, or am I growing at like a minuscule speed? Or do I really like, because listen, let's look at the date. It's May 17th already. It's May 17th. It is already, we are almost one more month and we'll be at the halfway mark of the year. And the question is where are we right now? Where are you in your path? Are you where you wanted to be at this point? Are you living a fulfilled life? And I got to tell you, this shit's been really coming up for me because I had an idea. I had goals set for being a certain place by this time, and I am not hitting them. So I started to go back into a lower place. And this is what happens, because when you start to see that when you take stock, and this is why some people don't want to do it, they just don't want to take stock into their life because they don't want to see that they're not moving forward. And then I compared it to where I was last year, and I was like, there's certain things that I did, and there's certain things that I'm exactly the same, and that's the part that really got me. And that's the part that's been affecting me the last like 3 weeks, is coming to terms with that and saying why, and then realizing the pieces that are there that still have not been removed because I have not removed them. I have not let them go. And I thought they were let go, some of them, and then they didn't once again. And now it's becoming more a point of desperation. And rather than go into that space that I went into last year to stagnate myself even more, I had to say, okay, I either do what I did last year and stay the same, and then go another year and go, this is where I am, or say, I've got to be as uncomfortable as I possibly can get, whatever that means, to make the changes happen in my life. And the irony is this, I know that whenever I've let go of stuff, whatever it was, it opened up so much more space for the good things that were coming into my life. And then for whatever reason, I know, well, I don't want to say whatever reason, a lot of times it is fear. I've identified that. I will close it again. I will go, it's like, I open the window, I open the door, come on in. And, okay, wait, too much, and I realize that the stop and go shit does not work for me. Like it's, so I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, you know what? This is enough already. Like, this is enough. I want to be able to say, 6 months from now, this is where I am. So what is that? June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months from now, I want to be in a drastically different place in many levels, not just physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. And the only way that's going to happen is for me to let go of this other crap that's still lingering in my life, because think of it this way, if all the pieces of your life that, all the things that are holding you back, all these pieces that are not serving you, they're not healthy for you, whether it's just eating or it's people or whatever, that it's not helping move forward. Think of them as they're all chains, they're all tethers. You take one off, you still have another one. You take another one off, and one might deceive you. You have to go. My daughter's got to go. Oh, I can't. No, you say hi to everybody. Say hi, everybody. Think of it as this: that if each one is, bye, honey, have a nice day, I love you. Is a leash. What if your one leash was long, one leash was short, but one was really long, and you're like, oh, I took off the other stuff, and look at this one. I still have this one on, but I'm going. You'll run as far as you can until that leash gets tight again, and then you'll stop, and then you can't go any further. And maybe it's harder now to get that chain off of you. So that's why I've been, that's the reality of when you don't let go of something, when you don't deal with something, it's going to come back at you.
It's gonna constantly be triggered. So there's I think there's letting go. Some people find it very hard. I think I had, you and I spoke often. I had goals because I'm doing everything in 3 months increment for the year, and I found that when I say I'm going to do this, that people will constantly ask me as though I forgot what I said I was going to do.
Right.
Because a lot of the things people like hold on, or they don't tend to let go, are things that are so minuscule that encompass the most part of your life. So when I tell people I'm still going to do it, oh, but when you said that 2 months ago, I'm going to do it when I do it. And I think with my letting go, I say I'm going to do something and I end up doing it on my time. I try not to hold on to things. The only thing that's still lingering me is my seasonal sadness with my mom. That's something that throughout this journey, I have cried more over, and just knowing that I'm going to spread her ashes, hopefully tomorrow in Musia. It's sad and exciting at the same time because it is part of letting go. It's letting go of some of her ashes here in a whole other country. And I think when you're ready to let go, you don't have to plan a list. You should know what you need to let go of. And if you don't know, then ask for help, because the most courageous act is saying, I need some help with this. When we are ashamed to ask for help for things that are hindering us, how are we going to grow?
Yes.
We should not be ashamed of anything we've done, because it's done. It was done. It's in the past. There's nothing we can do to fix it. All we got to do is purge it or correct it.
That's right.
Annihilate it from our everyday thought process. And when we don't do that, then it's something that's going to hinder our growth. So, we can't worry about who we're going to lose in the process too. And a lot of people don't let go of certain things because it's attached to other people. Did you get that?
Here's a good way to think about it, right? If you're thinking of, if you really sit there and say, oh, okay, let me think about what I need to let go of. And just go through a checklist. I know you say you don't have to write it down, but you can do it mentally, just a checklist. Is it my environment? Is it people within? Which people? Is it my job? Is it whatever? When you start to do this, though, and you find certain situations or people that you get resistant to the idea of letting go, or you think, oh my God, this is going to be hard, that's probably where we need to start. The one that feels the most uncomfortable, don't you think?
Yes, but let me go back to what you just said. You said people, places, and things of letting go, right?
Yes.
And that's how would you call that? That's where everybody thinks. And if I let go, who is it going to affect? Is it going to affect my job? Is it going to affect my family, my friends? Is it going, if whatever I let go of, is it going to affect my materialistic stuff? But why don't we go a little deeper? Why don't we start letting go of the competitive energy that we have where we see someone that we met, but yet they're here, and then we feel like we gotta by all means catch up, and that competitive energy is not good for us because everybody walks at their pace.
Yes.
When you're competitive and then you become jealous and then you become envious, those are the
Yes.
first, if as a spiritual coach, those will be the first things I will talk to someone in letting go. First, figure out inside of you what are those negative energy attachments that you have to get out, because whatever you're doing, Buddha, I'm not going to compete with you because it's not on the same path as mine.
That's right.
We might have started together, but your destiny is going somewhere else.
That's
I am
right.
not going to copy you. I'm not going to imitate you. I am going to celebrate you. But that's just my nature. I'm too busy loving on me and creating my ideas and my art and my coffee and my writing to even worry about how far ahead did my friend or family get. So when if we have any of those narcissisticness, uh, envious competition, jealousy, insecurities, I would say start there. Let go or learn how to, what is it? Detach from those feelings. It's probably going to take a minute to let them go, but try to detach from that, because then it's easier to detach from people, places, and things. First, you gotta rip apart that negativity we've been carrying for a long time. Why do they get to have that when they haven't even worked as hard as me? That's not your business. And maybe that's why you're not where you're supposed to be, because you're harboring those negative
Yeah,
energy.
you're putting all the energy into that. And I know I catch myself doing that sometimes. And so you have to also identify the where you are seeing those connections. Like if you're seeing it on social media and you're looking at somebody else, and of course, people do not post the bad shit that happens in their life. They always post the best of the best. So if you're seeing that on social media and it's bothering you, then breaking from social media is a necessity. Of course, come on to watch Viva, but then just jump right off. Like just don't do anything else, right? And but seriously, like sometimes you have to pull away from that social media and take a break from that so that you're not seeing this. It's not clouding your judgment. One thing I want to say is I want to put up some of these comments because they're really fantastic. So Desiree says, oftentimes I thought I let go, but then the shit sneaks up again down the line. I have to remind myself I let it go, but the question comes up again. Did I? She says that she is far behind in her mark. All right. What else? There was some other stuff. So Kathy said, I love letting go of what needs to be cleared out and calling in what I would love to experience or something better. So what she's doing is Kathy's saying she's letting go to make space. And then she's asking the universe, God, the divine, to bring in to fill up that space. I like writing it down at the full moon and burning it. I often take a picture of the paper if I want to review it, yet I rarely review it. All right. What else? It says, let's see, there was something else. Thomas Mark wrote, moving forward is letting go. Hi, everyone. Enjoy the day. Let it go, and you will find that less is more.
All
Absolutely.
day, all
Absolutely.
day.
Let's see.
Because the
Rolando
universe,
wrote, I did it a
okay.
long time ago. It wasn't easy, but it's achieved.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Okay. And then Edith wrote, I feel if you don't let go, you cannot heal from it. I have learned that. Yes, absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
a lot of the stuff that we don't let go of is pain, it's guilt, and it's unforgiveness. I can't believe, when someone hurts you or something, and then that turns out to be, then you hate your job, or there's certain characteristics in friends and family that remind you of the person that hurt you. So then that becomes a problem. Don't want to go to family events because of that. And then you don't want to use certain things or be a part of some material stuff because of the attachment it had to that. So you really, all I'm saying with the letting go is the work you need to do within. Because the outside, just say, fuck it. I don't want to be a part of it. You can control your outside environment, but you really need to do the work on the inside part, because the universe falls in love with you, with your courage, when you do, when you commit, and when you love. So do for yourself, commit to yourself, and love yourself. And then the paths will open up. Like Bad I said, the doors will open, the windows will open, and you'll know that it's okay to climb over or to walk through it.
You said something really great. You said about the control, right? So, and that's actually a question that you also need to ask yourself. The question is, do you believe you have control over your life? And then the other one is, do you want to control your life? Because sometimes that's also another reason why people don't want to let go. They'll rather, it takes greater energy to let go and trust in the process, but then in the end it becomes easier. But it's that initial piece. So sometimes it's easier to stay in the misery, blame other people, and say that I don't have control over the situation, because you don't want to take the accountability piece for it. So that is the thing that you probably do want to start with, is a question of, is, do I believe I have control in my life? And if you say to yourself, I don't believe I have control over my life, that's the piece that you have to start with. Then you say that, but then you say, do I really want to have control? Because then that means that you have to be accountable. And that means that if it doesn't go the way you want it to, then you have to be accountable to that piece. And sometimes it's so much easier for other people for people to blame other people. But once you get past those pieces, like if you get to a point where you say, you know what, fuck it, I really don't care anymore. Like I don't get like, and this is why people do let go. Some people get to a point where they resisted, and finally they throw up their hands and they say, fuck it, I can't do this anymore. Like I can no longer do this. The pain threshold is too much. I'm done. I don't care what happens. I'm just making this change. And the moment they do that release, they do open themselves up to realize that they do have control over their lives, whether they say it or not. And then all of a sudden, really fabulous stuff happens. And it's the people who are still partially like one foot in, out the door, one foot in, is when they'll see things start to happen, but they don't really, and they don't go exactly the same way. Then they go back into the door and they say, yeah, I tried, but I tried to let go and trust in the process, but things aren't working. No, you can't just keep one foot out the door and one foot in. And I know this from experience.
Because when you trust the process, it's because you trust yourself. And let me remind everybody, let's go back a minute, because to let go and grow, it's scary.
Yes.
It's not easy. It's not you walking into a bakery ordering your favorite croissant with chocolate. It is scary. Now let's go back. I trust the process, but I love myself. So I have to be so kind to myself that I don't care who understands me.
Yes.
This is the events that took place. I had a horrible car accident. My car was totaled March 31st. April 22nd, I launched my coffee company business. And May 3rd, I'm on a plane to Portugal for almost a month.
Yep.
Okay. Practically no funds, not even for my car that I don't have.
Yep.
I still got bills. I got to go back and work, which I'm going to love, and fill my coffee orders since I've been here in Spain and Portugal. And I did it. I took the leap of faith. One, because I trust myself enough to know that I hold myself accountable in meeting the demands when I get back home. But I love myself that I said I had a horrible car accident, and in less than a month, I launched a business. And then a week and a half later, I'm off to walk in two outfits for 15 days.
Two fabulous outfits, though.
And let me tell you, I'm not scared. My bank account will be zero by the time I get home. I'm not scared.
I might not be.
And my company it's not just a coffee company. It is a revolution of awareness, and it is a company for women to revolutionize their life and become aware of the strong individual that you are. And it is to say that anything could have went wrong in my absence. And I don't care who forgets me, because they don't matter to me, because I haven't been as active on social media or whatever. I am important. I gotta let go of certain things that which I discovered plenty here, that are not gonna serve me no more.
Yes.
And there weren't many, but I discovered them. And I'm just gonna be me, because you know, a good heart is attractive, especially to my soul. And
Mm,
my heart is so happy that I said, I had an accident, awful. I launched a business, exceptional. But I'm gonna go do me right now.
mm.
So my soul is happy that I said, with all those two different energy things happening, I still said, okay, Margarita, let's go, mamita. And we went. And
Yes.
because we have to remind others that when they see us happy, to leave us alone, because we got shit to do. And
Yes.
it's okay for you to say that to people.
Yes.
Please, you can't come into my space right now. When we were in one of the places, quick story, the guy who massaged my foot, the next day we had coffee, and he just kept to and trying to hold my hands. And I was like, and I was like, oh, I never seen you act like that. And I said, well, we've never been together in scenarios like this. I don't like people in my space.
Yeah.
Plus, I got to protect my energy. And this nigga was like all about your energy. I love your energy. And you
Yeah.
know
Oh,
what?
he was
Anybody else would have
energy
been like, hey, I
vampire.
know I got good energy. But no, because there's people who can take your energy. So I have been open yet protected, open,
Boundaries. Boundaries.
hugging everybody, but yet shielding my
Yes,
spirit.
you can be. Yep.
So, and because all of this can overwhelm us, right? And what badass Buddha, when we are overwhelmed, what are the three things we need to do? We need to rest, we need to recover, and we need to recharge. That was a
Yes.
great episode we had.
Yes. Yep.
Hold yourself accountable. It's hard, but you know what? Don't get mad if somebody tells you what to do or where to sit or where to hang your coat, because if you're not taking accountability for your life, someone else will.
That's
Someone else
correct.
will take charge of your life.
That's
If
right.
you're not accountable for you, someone will control you. So that's the easy choice you got to make. And plus, when you look in the mirror, that's all you got. So hold yourself accountable for what you say, what you do, how you do it. You don't care how other people perceive it. It's how you feel and what you say, what you do, and what you're gonna do. It's only you. It's you against you every single day. So hold yourself accountable and
I
love
want
yourself.
I want to mention something about what you were talking about before, but before I do, I want to read a couple of comments. So Kathy says, everyone discovers their own way of letting go. Sometimes it's taking the time to think about what needs to be released, writing it down, saying a prayer, or whatever way feels good to you. Always being gentle with yourself in the process of it all. Absolutely. Chanel had amen. Love that universe will open to us. Let it go. We let it and are courageous in letting it happen. Thomas wrote, you have to be in a positive state of mind to let go of things. My problem is I like to revisit my past with the things I have collected, and then I can't let it go. Yeah, ruminating is a challenge for me as well.
But
Try
it's not totally wrong, Thomas, because it's okay to travel down memory lane if it's just, hello, I see you, I feel you,
Yes,
I have to go. It's
yes,
okay, because we all like to travel back to yesteryear, because some things need to click. Whatever seed was planted there, no matter in the midst of a tornado, that seed is still there, and it's okay to go back and travel back and visit like a hello goodbye visit, and don't stay a week.
because so going back to what you had said before, and Gladiator Guru and I had a conversation about this right after her accident. You were asked, I believe it was by your daughter, So you're not going on your trip, right? Or did she say like are you
My
still
son,
going on
my
your trip?
son.
Your son. He said, right? He said, are you still going on your trip? Or did he say, are you're not going on, right? He said,
He asked a question, made a statement. How's that?
okay.
It came out like a question, but it was like, you're not going, right?
Yeah. Okay. So and there's not, listen, we're not knocking Robert. It's a legitimate question. It's most people, a lot of people would ask this, right? So when we have something like that happen, okay, this is what would normally go through somebody's head. I got into a car accident. I might have injuries. I'm supposed to be hiking and walk miles, in a little while. I got to deal with my car. I have no transportation. I've got to deal with insurance company towing charges. What am I got to buy a car? I'm supposed to launch my business. I might have to push that back. Maybe I shouldn't go on the trip because my money's going to be pushed into. And then, even though Gladiator Guru said, no, I'm staying steadfast, this was an unknown, and I, of course, I didn't want this to happen, but it did. But I still need to move on and do my my launch, my business launch. I have already committed to this, and this is very important on multiple levels, that I go on this trip. So I'm committing to that. Now, other people might also say, okay, well, I could see you did that. I could see that. But aren't you worried? You're going to get back. You still need a car. You still need this, blah, blah, blah. The point being is this, is that when you trust in the process, and this is a big trust, I'm not going to make it like seem light, like, oh, we could just very trust in the process. There are moments, I'm sure, that every so often will kick in with Gladiator Guru and any other person, where there's that little bit of hesitation where you go into that head and you say, huh, I am going to get back and I'm not going to have a car, or this is, but then you take that step back and you say, you know what? This is the most incredible journey I'm on. Life is a journey in general. It doesn't matter what is, if you're on the Camino or not, but it's about saying, you know what? I have to do this for me. When I get back, I will figure things out. It will all work out the way it's supposed to work out. And we have to trust in the process. When you said, Gladiator Guru, that you're going to get back to a zero bank account, you might not. That's just it. You might get back to, all of a sudden you have this mass amount of orders that came in for coffee, and you're like, how about that? Or maybe there was an unexpected check that like found its way to you that you forgot all about.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it, is that you say, or somebody all of a sudden says, hey, listen, I need your services. As soon as you get back, you say, like, the next day, I need your services, and I want you to start next week, and I'm going to give you a deposit or whatever. And so that is the we have to be reminded constantly to know when to let go. Like, again, I always think of like movies. There was this one scene, I forget which Harry Potter movie it's in. It's not the first one. I don't think it is. Might be the second one, where they fall, the three of them, Harry Potter and his two friends, fall into this vine, and they're fighting, right? They're fighting. And the girl who knows everything, she's like, oh my God, this is a whatever kind of snare, like a snare vine or whatever she called it. And she's like, you can't fight it. You just have to stop moving, and then it releases you. And so before she tells them this, she just realizes what it is, and she just stops for a second, and she falls through, and the two friends are panicked, and they're going, oh my God, because they can't see beneath them. And she yells up, she goes, it's this type of vine. You just have to trust. Just stop fighting it and just let it happen. So Harry does that. He stops fighting and he falls through. But his friend, who tends to be more worrisome, he's fighting, and they're like, no, you have to stop fighting. You have to stop fighting. And then when he finally accepts what they say, he relaxes and falls through. But that's what letting go is about. Letting go is about sometimes fighting that resistance to fight, like to say, I can't, if I do this, I'm going to drown. No, you have to just trust it and then let it happen. And then on the other side, all of a sudden, there's clarity, there are opportunities, there are answers. How about that? We always say this, oh God, please give me a sign. I'm notorious for this. Give me some idea that I'm on the right path. Give me some answers. And day in and day out, I'm not hearing it or seeing it. Maybe I can't. But the moment I let go and trust in the process, all of a sudden, the shit comes out in front of me. And the irony about this is I know this and I constantly stop and go, stop and go. I will let go, see it, then I will stop again. And then I will let
Mm-hmm.
go and see it and stop again. Instead of just saying, fuck it, I'm just letting go
That's
of
it.
all of it.
Well, and you said something important when you described the three Harry Potter characters, because that's how we all are. And sometimes we can be all three of them depending on the circumstance. But that is still your power. And the more it happens, the more you learn about yourself. And you will, you know what? We are going to be afraid. We are going to be resistant. And because it depends on the scenario that we're dealing with. You know, and you said something that is very true. Just, I don't know if it was last night or the night before. I was doing something and I said, oh shit, I don't have a car. But instantly I'm like, fuck it. I'll get to wherever I have to get to. Because if I start worrying, cars are not cheap. And if I start worrying, where's that going to get me? All twisted up like a salty pretzel. I don't like salt. Okay, so we're not doing that. But you're absolutely right. I love the analogy of the three characters, because we can be either one of them at times in our lives. We're all three of them at the same time. So imagine how that is. That's way overcooked spaghetti for me. So, but we're human. And because of that, we are going to second guess ourselves. We're never going to reach the day of our deathbed and not have second guess ourselves, no matter how enlightened we believe ourselves to be. And sometimes it's good to second guess yourself, depending again on the scenario. So I think that all we're trying to say here today, and correct me if I'm wrong, Buddha, is learn the process of letting go of what no longer serves you, or what you that no one should have ever threw in your backpack to begin with, and now it's just the extra weight on you. But you've carried it for so long, you've gotten used to it, but it's taking up space for what the universe has for you, so you can't receive the greatness because you're still carrying the unnecessary. So I think it's just, if you're gonna do anything starting today, is try to figure out how to let go of what. And like I said with earlier, sometimes we do need to travel back through yesteryear because of the seed that was planted in the middle of the hurricane or whatever. So all you see is flying stuff around. But sometimes we got to go back, and I go back to that with my dad, because my dad, we all know, was an alcoholic and smoked crack. But the best seeds of wisdom he planted throughout our childhood. Sometimes I find myself traveling backwards, and then I got to swim through the tears and the nauseousness of certain scenes that are still so vivid in my mind to get to that garden. But
Yes.
then what I do is I get there, I swim through it. I'm not struggling with the vines at first, but then I am. And then I get to the other side and I see the progress of that seed of wisdom growing. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the right track. And then I head back. So sometimes we need that reminder, because remember, we are working with ourselves. It's so easy to give advice to anybody and everybody, but to we chew it, but we don't swallow. Bitches, swallow, because it's about you.
Yep.
We gotta swallow what we need to regurgitate. I know that doesn't sound so appealing, but we need to just take it out. Take it out to be the
Yes.
best you that you can possibly be, because we all deserve to receive what we were born into this life to receive. And no one is keeping it from us but ourselves.
That's
No
good.
one is holding back on your prize, on your gifts, on your birthright. No one. You are. So when you hold yourself accountable, then the road to letting go seems a bit more paved and not so bumpy.
Woo, you are just truly the guru today. Look at you.
Let me tell you, the biggest war we fight is always with ourselves,
Oh,
not our
God,
men. And
please.
and the biggest war, see, we can win, we can battle beautifully, but the war of learning who we are, that's like the Cold War. That can take a lifetime. But
I know.
the beauty of it all is that you're in it, you're battling, and you're battling beautiful because
Oh,
every every mile that you take over, it's just a beautiful step forward into the true you were born to be. So yeah, it's pain, it's blood, it's wounds, it's exhaustion, but the prize is just priceless. It's not, because it's nothing nobody can gift you but yourself.
right.
And that's where the letting go comes in, because we need to blossom into that beautiful garden of gardenias and just smell everything beautiful around us, because that is who we are. And if we're not fertilizing our garden, don't blame nobody. The work starts with you and it ends with you.
And you said battling beautifully. Sometimes we aren't always battling beautifully, and this is where you do have to review. You do have to kind of look at where you came from, where you are right now, because if you're still doing the same thing over and over again, that isn't a beautiful battle. You are just this is going to be a very long and drawn out war and or battle. So you know what? Then take stock in that and say, okay, what can I change in my defense? What can I do differently to put myself into a different trajectory? Because sometimes part of the way that we do, like, we think sometimes that we are letting go. I know we're getting at the end, but this is something to consider. Sometimes we think we're moving forward and we're letting go and like, oh, I'm doing this. But in reality, what we're doing is we created a circular path, and we
All you
just keep
did was put on lashes. All you did was add on lashes, right?
you
Because you
just, but
cover
yeah,
up.
you're kidding, right? And so you're just all of a sudden you, especially on the path, if you're going in a circle, then the scenery might look a little different if you're looking to the right, and then you pass by it again, you're looking to the left, and like, oh, I'm in a different spot. But then you kind of look around on both sides and go, what the hell? Like, I'm still in the same spot. So you have to review and say, am I actually moving forward, or is it just seeming like, do I seem like I'm moving forward? And the only way to do this is to look at where you were 6 months ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Because if you haven't made much progress, then you aren't moving that fast on that path. And it's because you're dragging shit
Yes.
behind you.
And I think we need to do a show where you need to teach the year in review, and maybe extend it, like let's say the last 2 years, because that has effect on the third year. It's always three for me: past, present, future. Um, so I think we need to do a show on that, because you just mentioned that, and that's very important, because people think, whatever, and we do. We
I wrote it
need to
down.
we need to retrace our steps to see which path we gotta go on going. So I think that would be a good one, because
Perfect.
you did it, I didn't, so you would be better at explaining it. Okay, Chanel, but yeah.
All right,
So
Chanel.
before we leave, I just wanted to say, I'm going to be posting. I'm gonna plug myself in right now, because as I'm walking, I have failed to promote myself with my books. I have failed to promote my audio book. I haven't been promoting my life coaching, anything. And the Badass Buddha always holds me accountable to that in our coaching meetings, and I haven't done it. But so I'm going to post the three top ones. I'm in 40 platforms worldwide right now. I'm gonna post all of them, because they have some like fascinating names of these audible places all around the world. But the three most prominent, three or four, it's audio.com, amazon.com, barnesandnobles.com, and googleplay.com. So that's where you can purchase and listen to me tell you a story about soul searching for peace. So I'm going to be promoting that. I just want to put it out there because I'm back. I started getting back last year, and then that happened with mom, but I'm back. And right now I'm going to share with so much inner love of who I am and what I have accomplished through all the tragedies in my life. And it's okay if you don't buy it, but I'm going to promote the shit out of myself going forward. So
You
watch
should.
out now because I'm coming.
That's no zero bank account when you return. That's the way to do
And that don't even scare me. I'm like, whatever.
it. Oh
But
my
I thank
God.
everybody who's still on, including you, Badass Buddha. I still have several videos to make, but the last 3 to 4 days, it was so hot walking, I couldn't drink coffee. So that's why the videos weren't as consistent. Um, but I still have videos, and I thank all of you for your donations that have been so beautiful. It made me so excited every time I seen it, the love and the just the camaraderie of coffee, passion. Milagros donated. She don't even like coffee. And I was like, oh, Milagros, that was beautiful. So thank you. And I promised on Thursday my hair should be done.
Oh, don't even worry about it. You look fabulous. So listen, thank you so much. We want you to go and about your day and enjoy. And we will have our guest on Thursday. We will have Dr. Stefan Zavalin, passion, purpose, and potato. So stay tuned for that conversation. Anyway, listen, you and Iritza, be safe. We'll see you on Thursday. Lots of
Yes.
love to you both. Enjoy Spain. And yep, share those pictures. Everybody else out there, share those pictures, like, subscribe, love, whatever, comment, do all of those things because we love the and appreciate our tribe, and we want to just spread and get even more people to enjoy what we have to say. So
Yes.
thank you so much, everyone. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, remember to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.